What's up? It's your girl at tiffanymdraper, and I am getting ready to go and find me an iPhone charger since it didn't come with it when I bought the iPhone yesterday. But that's a personal problem. So I'm going to knock out another one of the videos that Mr. Terrell P22 sponsored. If any of y'all want me to react to any video, then hit my Cash App with a minimum of $5 and then email me or text me, all right? All that information will be in the description of this video. And make sure you send that link, dog, and I'll get to it. So I got one more sponsored by Terrell P, but I'm going to do that later. Let's get on with this one.
No, ma'am.
Oh, I'm sorry. Go to my community post. Shout out to Karim. I hope I'm saying your name right. You just donated as well. I appreciate you. Any donation gets a shout out, and I'll make sure I crop out or paint out your information. All right?
Finished. You're finished.
I'm done.
Yep.
There's nothing for me.
Not realistically.
Well, thank you.
See? He's not saying, I got to interrupt already. He's not saying there's no hope for women that have hit the wall, but he's just saying not realistically. You know what I mean? We can want all we want, but are we going to get that?
Because I'm 42.
See, it's the age and the weight. And then if you have any children.
So my kids are...
Okay, ma'am, I don't need to... okay, I'm going to be honest. And I don't want to be rude, sound like rude, but see, when you... over 40... and you're obese, and you even if you're coming down, you still can go the other way. And then
half of them obese with yeast infections, pH balances all off, and all that.
You have children. Okay, the only way that there would ever be any chance for you is if you were gorgeous.
You would have to look like the first lady, seriously. And I don't mean...
Hey guys,
just
so welcome.
I don't mean because she's not black. I meant at her age, she's drop dead gorgeous. You feel me? So at your age of 40 or plus or 35 plus, you have to be gorgeous.
The only chance for you is if you were gorgeous.
Why does that look like some type of police sketch drawing? Well, girl, I saw him. He knocked her over the head. Well, what did he look like? Come in and give a statement. That's what that looked like.
So I wrote it down.
Hold on.
You need to be able to
I done skipped all past that, baby. That threw me off. That threw me off, y'all. I'm sorry.
Just something to kind of think about. So one of his videos here says 27 to 35 for women means that they are...
First of all, I don't even like the way he talk. Sound like he work at the nail salon. With, you know how the whole family be working there. The men be doing pedicures and manicures and massages too. That's what he sound like.
In the quote danger zone, which makes it very difficult for these women to, and important rather, for these women to try and find a high-valued man, because in Kevin Samuel's mind, age is a commodity like beauty. And in our world,
that's not...
people seem to value age and seem to value beauty. And so he's saying women...
I'm going to pause it. I'm going to pause this and go to the YouTube studio, because the way Terrell sent me this, it sent me to the mobile version, and I should have opened it up in YouTube, because I'm finna get all up in him, because he's talking about in Kevin Samuel's mind. No, these are facts. He's already pissing me off, and I need to be able to pause when I need to. Hold on. All right, y'all. Let's get to where we left off with the police sketch. All right. Let's go. Skipped all your ads. You are not getting paid for hating.
Hey, guys. So, welcome back to...
JJ Icefish with a Jerry curl. You lucky I couldn't really see how you was looking on the regular browser. Oh my God, on the YouTube app. I got slapped with your ugliness. Let's go.
And don't grab your coffee, water, tea, whatever you're drinking. Go and get that now. And let's talk about Kevin Samuels and the high-valued man. We'll see.
Texturizer.
So,
You look like you don't need to be using just for men. You need to be using just for women.
for starters, let me say that one of my favorite obsession when I was a child growing up as a young man was self-improvement books.
You sure it wasn't Bratz dolls and trying to play Barbie while you was playing with Ken in your little sister's dollhouse? Are you sure?
Self-improvement seminars, and I do appreciate the people who engage with these materials. I also like people who provide these materials. So now I've taken a step back because I find that a lot of them do very little to actually improve people's lives. But I get the draw for it. There is a dopamine hit when we find a new reason to engage in new activities. So I understand it. I get it. I was part of it. Now, I am a
You look like a darker version of Ty Lopez. But you're not dark skinned, but you just got a tan in comparison to Ty Lopez. Y'all know I ain't lying. Hold on, look. Look. The Here in My Garage guy. Don't he look like a darker version of him? The accuracy. Look at that. The accuracy. Come on, don't play with me. Not on today.
claim dandy, or at least a dandy wannabe. Therefore, being a quote alpha male or a high-valued male is not interesting to me in the least bit. Now, why do I bring up this thing and subject? Because I already realize the critique that I'm going to be getting. This content is not made for you. I've had someone...
I promise you I was just about to say that, but since you said that, I'm going to leave it alone. Since you said that. Look at it. Y'all see that? Since my phone and I already switched over to the iPhone, it's going to keep doing that. So y'all have to excuse it because it's basically saying that your SIM card ain't in here. No, it's not, boo-boo. It's in my new iPhone.
Tell me that you are already high valued, and things of the sort. And I completely disagree with it.
And it won't let me turn off those type of notifications, so let's go.
Now, we have to talk about Kevin Samuels. And who is Kevin Samuels, you might ask? Well, look no further than here. So, Kevin Samuels is a YouTuber, self-proclaimed personal life development coach who teaches men how to be, quote, a high-valued man. Now, I will get into some of my issues with...
I'm going to subscribe to you so I can troll you so you know, and I'm going to go ahead and leave you a thumbs down.
The quote, high-valued man. But before we do that, let's look at some of his content, just something to kind of think about. So, one of his videos here says 27 to 35 for women means that they're in the, quote, danger zone, which makes it very difficult for these women to, and important rather, for these women to try and find a high-valued man, because in Kevin Samuel's mind, age is a commodity.
Again, not in his mind. That is what the great majority feels, so it's not just him.
Like beauty. And in our world, people seem to value...
You would like beauty in women too if you weren't too busy at the beauty shop booking appointments for yourself.
Age and seem to value beauty. And so he's saying women without this cannot get a high-valued man, or a high-valued man in the way that he has described it.
Don't you look like you should be working somewhere at Oriental Trading or Chinatown or something? Like, come on now, you're not fooling me. Come on.
Another one of his video is 10 ways to enlarge in your... You know what?
Shouldn't you be somewhere working for a delivery as a delivery driver for a Chinese restaurant, moonwalk or something?
He also explained...
Now you interested in black culture like Michael Jackson and moonwalking, when Mufrican, you should be working at moonwalk. Why have... You're racist, Tiffany. Shut up. Everybody can get it. I told y'all. If I go in on blacks, I can go in on whites. I can go in on Oriental things like him. I can go in on Guatemalan people. I can go in on Puerto Rican. I can go in on everybody.
A video like why threes want to be considered nines and things of the sort. he does in fact scale women and talk about why it is that certain kinds of women based on their looks cannot have certain kinds of men. Now, I already have issues with the levels of misogyny, but I
Seriously, if he was any more beta, he'd be a beta fish.
did decide to go sit down for 7 hours
JJ Icefish is a beta fish.
this weekend and last week to really engage openly with his material to give him a
Are
fair
you openly GAY as well, or are you in the closet on that too?
chance. I tried, and I did give him a fair chance, and the verdict is
No, you tried it with this video, but I'm gonna let you talk.
back, and it is not good. Now, what do I mean by this? So, to understand Kevin Samuel's theory, we have to look first.
It's not that hard. It's Kevin Samuels, not Kevin Samuels. What the freak? The only whale around here is Mello. It's Kevin Samuels. Kevin Samuels. You're showing your other side that's not black when you talk like that.
An interview that he did explaining his position and what it is that
What position do you use? Are you a bottom or a top when you with your man? I want to know the position. Doggy style or...
ultimately believes. Before we even get to the amorphous, quote, high-valued man, I think it is important to contextualize
Is Derek Jackson waiting in the next room so y'all can get it on?
who Kevin Samuels is. Now, here we go.
Most of the black men that I know became more successful after their divorce. Why? They had more time to focus. They didn't have to live with a nagging wife at home.
And
They
that's
have
what
more
I'm going
bills to
through
pay.
right now.
Well, and the sad thing is, it's the opposite with everybody else. Other men tend to become more successful after marriage.
All right. So let's stop him here because the inaccuracies are mind-boggling. And this is not the worst of it. This is actually not even as bad as it's going to get. So, he says, and I
You mean as bad as that Jerry Curl perm?
put it down, he says, most of the black men that I know became more successful after their divorce. You want to know something about this, Kevin Samuels? It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter that most of the black men that you, as a singular individual, know.
No, you were not trying to make it seem like he's an exception. No, sir. We're going based off of facts. That's all he does. And he gives us the websites, the credible websites to look at these facts, sir, ma'am.
Do better after their divorce. You want to know why? Because anecdotal evidence, your personal experience, is not generalizable without solid research to back that up. So you cannot make a claim. You cannot make an entire...
Okay, you are making a whole claim that this man... If you do not give me facts and not just your opinion, you yourself, I'm going to get on you for that, all right? Because you didn't brought out my every insight as well. You would not call him Kevin Samuels. You will get it right. You will get it right.
Platform articulating these things as if they are true generally because they're true in your experience. That is damaging, right? Now, as a kind
Your
of
hair got damage in it. That's why you thought that you was going to do the Leslie swoops on your motherfucking forehead.
linguistic matter, this is also inaccurate because he then goes on to say other men became more successful after they're married, right? So black men became more successful after their divorce. Other kinds of men became successful after they got married.
Because their women of other races tend to be less stressful and distracting, and they add to the marriage and their helpmeets. Black women want to control, and they want to run everything, and they want to be a headache every goddamn day. You can't focus on that. Your home is supposed to be your sanctuary, your peace of mind, your castle. And it's just like an insane asylum 9 times out of 10 if you have a black woman.
I am not sure, again, where this information is coming from.
Especially during quarantine, all you doing is seeing weave laying everywhere. And if she ain't got weave, you're seeing a nappy-headed poodle hair headed female with an attitude all during day. Black women, it's like they stay on their periods. They are constantly PMSing and then they on their periods. Just cramping. They cramping your style.
He cites nothing. I spent a day looking for this, and there is no such research in any credible social...
Dude, he said the men that he knows. He said that himself, sir. That's not one of his facts, sir, ma'am.
Scientist or social science institution that you could use. None. So, where did he get this from? Don't know. Again, as a linguistic matter, divorce happens after marriage. So, you saying some people...
Why don't you go on his show and ask him where he got that?
Get better after their marriage and some people get better after their divorce. Doesn't make sense because we don't know if those people who got better in terms of their success did so after they were divorced, since divorce is also after you've been married. But let's not play this linguistic...
Why don't you take some testosterone supplements with your struggle beard?
...game, and let's talk about the actual facts. Because just...
You got another skinny, long-faced, earthworm Jim-looking individual.
Pure economics says that you partnering with someone who's also working, coming together in the same household means that you both...
Head shaped in the same color as the inside of a thumb. Thumbhead bastard.
...have access to more resource. Because they're coming in from two different places as opposed to one. So again, what exactly are you talking about, Kevin Samuels, and where did you get this research? But I promise you that is literally not the worst part of this interview. So let him continue and we will find out.
He's right. He's right.
No, he's not right.
He is 100% right, because I'm living
it. Here's the solution in the short term. You can't wait.
I'm going to tell you how right he is. When I was waiting at Ledbetter Station yesterday to come home, I overheard this black dude, and I ended up talking to him, and of course, sexually harassed, I told you. But I waited a while, and I was like, look, I said, I hear you on the phone with your dude, and I make videos about this on my YouTube channel, and that's what I mean by I ended up talking to him. Of course, I don't want to date him, because I got enough sense not to date him, and I'm going to tell you why. First of all, I'm talking to somebody. But this is why I wouldn't date him if I was single or try to get his number or give him my number. Because he was on the phone saying, so yeah, nigga got locked up. Know what I'm saying? The girl just burnt all my clothes when I came home. I couldn't find her. Know what I'm saying? She didn't want to have nothing to do with me. $1,000 worth of clothes. Know what I'm saying? I don't trust these hoes. I have enough sense not to be with a Pookie and Ray Ray. And I have enough sense. First of all, but he was talking about how much of a headache she was and how he didn't hold her down and blah, blah, blah. I really don't want to speak on that because I don't know how I feel. If I was with somebody and it was long term, yeah, I would hold him down if he went to jail. But at the same time, what are you going to jail for? I'm not stupid. If you killing folk, drug dealing, all that stuff, I wouldn't have been with you in the first place. But that's another excuse that black women use. Oh, it's the man's fault. No, you chose that man, that Pookie and Ray Ray, because that Pookie and Ray Ray is not in a position like a high value man to choose you. So you chose him, and that's what you got.
Coming to get themselves together. So
but I said that to say, yeah, they are headaches. That woman burned all that man's clothes and all that stuff. Could you just have kicked him out of your place or whatever? Or, giving him a chance to get on his feet before you, put him out and burn his clothes and all that. Like, black men of high value don't have time to deal with stuff like that. You remember what, rest in peace, but remember what Left Eye did? I was, 2 or 3, but she burnt old dude's mansion or something like that. When she was burning his clothes in the tub or something like that, his shoes or something. Nobody got time for that. Remember that movie, Waiting to Exhale? Where she put out her, pack your and get out. Now, yeah, he was trifling. But you ain't got to do all that, babe.
Non-black woman.
Oh, boy.
That's what, I mean, I mean, if you're a man,
Somebody trying to argue with you every day. Let me get somebody that ain't trying to fight every day.
if you want something out of life, and you need to be able to compete with Brad, Lee, Ahmed, and Enrique, you cannot wait for the black women to find spaces and places like this to start doing the work. Life is happening right now. Stop waiting for black women and pick the best woman you can in your area and move on. Stop tying, because black women aren't loyal to black men. So black men need to stop being loyal to black women. And here's the thing, any black woman has a problem with it, and any black woman that has a problem with it, then here's a solution. Give black men a better product. They want to marry. Give them a better product. Black men want to marry.
Kind of frustrating, but yeah. So he says, I wrote it down. Black men cannot wait for black women to get themselves together.
Cannot.
Go find you a non-black woman. I don't feel like I need to go and argue this, right? Because we know that black women, like Madame Noir, and I'm going to come back to this too. Madame Noir did a study, right? And in
The simple fact that you as a man is on Madame Noir is comical.
study from Madame Noir, it says 60%.
I bet you have a subscription to Cosmopolitan too, huh?
18 to 34-year-old users, which were black women,
Probably get Playgirl magazines too. I used to get Playgirl magazines. Shout out to you.
to split or pay greater share of their bills with their partner, at least
Not Playboy, Playgirl.
occasionally. So black women are paying half or more than half of their bills, or expect to pay it because they've done so in the past. There's a factor for that above. In the past, right? So this idea that black men are being held down by black women is not, it is absolutely not based in reality. We know that educated black women tend to date black men who are not as educated as them. That is the fact. I did a video on this before, and I will link it.
Why do you think that is, Jim? Why do you think that is? I heard Kevin Samuels talk about that before. It's because men are not caring about a woman's finances and stuff like that. A woman cares about a man's finances, but if most women want something that's broke and beneath her, because we women like to control. Because if you depend on if a man depends on you for everything, a place to stay, food to eat, first of all, he's going to pander to you like Derrick Jackson. And he's going to cater to you because he needs you. Why do you think Kevin Samuel says, I'm not going to lie to you. I'm not effing you. I'm not having sex with you. I don't have to lie to you to get sex. I'm going to tell you like it is. Most women, particularly black women, love a broke man. That's why they date the Pookies and Ray Rays and the bad boys, because they can control them. That's why they say a man is only as faithful as his options. If he has an option of choosing something better than you, 9 times out of 10 he will. And most of the time, men can choose better when they are financially secure.
Down in my description before, in my description for you. Now, you guys can say, why are you pointing to a Madame Noir article with this kind of research? I've done the research before, and again, I'll link the video down in the description. But I pointed to this specific study because Kevin Samuels cited this study before and talked about why it is that black men, 60% of black women, have to pay the rent. Right? So in his own admission, which we will go to in a minute, in Kevin Samuel's own admission, he accepts and already agrees that black women who earn more than black men are actually taking care of black men in the black community. Like, You have already pointed this out. So to then put forward this narrative that is inaccurate makes no sense to me. So he also says, stop waiting for black women because black women aren't waiting for black men.
This is problematic in itself because a lot of black women have a lot of gay men as their homegirls. Why are you caping for black women in this sense when you're not even a black woman? Is it because you think you're a woman? Like, what is up? What is up with that? Black women are producing sissy boys like this. Little beta bastards. Beta bastards. What am I looking for? Oh, okay. I'm getting ready to get on about here. Beta bastards.
This is a faulty assumption. Let me
Looking like you should be somewhere out there selling Girl Scout cookies.
What he says before I explain why it's so flawed. He says black women aren't loyal to black men. This, again, is not true. But it's just not. Let me stop here because I think it's important that I bring up some research instead of just stating things, right?
Yeah.
So, let's go to a Pew research, right? And the Pew research was...
You got them ugly Andrew Caldwell expressions. Like, I don't know. I don't know about you, son.
Done in 2008. It has been updated and it still has the same information. The same trend is going on in 2018, 2019, and 2020. I don't think the 2021 has been released yet. But, so let's go to the Pew research and let's go to the Summer because we don't even have to go into the research. So, the Pew research and we go to the gender, right? Gender patterns in interracial marriage vary widely. So the first sentence says, some 22% of black male newlyweds in 2008 married outside their race, compared with 9% of black female newlywed, right? So black men are more likely to marry outside of their race. Now, I must point out that I am not saying interracial marriage is good or bad. Like, I don't care.
You look like you're a product of interracial marriage. Or at least an interracial ugly marriage, because somebody was ugly. That's all I'm saying.
It's not my problem. The thing is, when we have someone like Kevin Samuels telling black men that they need to marry outside of their race to become successful,
he did not say that.
And the because is the problem, because black women aren't waiting for black men and they are not loyal. That makes absolutely no sense because already black men already marry outside of their race. They are 3 times more likely to marry outside of their race across racial groups. And you can finish reading that if you want. Across racial groups, it's 40 pages. Black women are the least likely to marry outside of their race. So, when we talk about loyalty, black women are more loyal to black men. And sometimes Professor Banks from Stanford University, who wrote the book on this actually, and again, it's in the video that I'll link below that I already covered, he pointed out that black women do this to their detriment. Black women marry black men and date black men to their detriment because black women are more educated, they're getting educated at a higher rate than black men now. And also, when they have economic resource, they tend to date men who are less educated, black men, and have less access to resource, financial resource that is. So, again, the entire premise for his channel.
He looking at that like, ooh, I need that dress at my wedding, girl.
Is flawed. So Kevin Samuels says that he is training men, black men, to become high-valued men. Now, what is this high-valued man?
Oh my God. Look at it. I'm surprised he ain't sipping with the pinky hanging out.
After slugging through his channel, I realized that high-valued men in his definition is kind of amorphous, right? It kept changing and he kept adding things to it, removing things from it. He seems to have an archetype in mind that changes depending on the subject that he's talking about. That doesn't work for me. So I went...
Who cares what works for you? Like he gonna switch his whole style because one person in the whole universe is offended.
And I found a video on his channel where he defines for us what a high-valued man is.
Told you don't never trust no light-skinned person with a dirty neck. You got a dirty neck. I could see the discoloration. We're all up in there. I don't trust you because you don't even care enough to make sure your neck is the same color as the rest of your body.
Now, this video, let me make
this video, even your tongue is disagreeing with what you're saying.
This video, as you can see, is over 2 hours long. I was not going to sit here and have you guys watch a 2 hour long video.
Right, just like I'm not finna sit here and do this 42-minute video because I got somewhere to be in 20 minutes.
To get to a definition. So I went back to the ways that I took notes in undergrad, in uni. I decided...
So you must be overseas somewhere calling it the university.
Create for you guys a summary so we don't have to watch that whole 2 hour. But you can go back and watch it if you just want to verify anything that I say here. So based on Kevin Samuel's assertion, this right here is a high-valued man. This is from my notepad, by the way. So, Kevin Samuel
your diary
says to be a high-valued man, you must have money. Now, money, it seems, was the biggest thing because everything he says kept going back to money and how much money you make. I am not going to criticize him for it. I understand that in the black community, we have to start accepting that money, while we consider it to be the root of all evil, is not itself evil, and we need to figure out...
That perm should have reached all the way down to your roots, because you got, like, nappy roots.
A way to better appreciate money and strive to have more access.
Nappy roots and straight ends.
To money. Anyway, let's go. So he says you need money.
But you're not straight.
So that's what he said first, so I wrote it down. He also then said you need the home field advantage, and thankfully he answered in some part what it means to have the home field advantage, and that for him meant that you need over $100,000 a year. Again, money. Now we know money means $100,000 per year. He says your appearance should be impeccable. He says you should be competitive, you should be intriguing. That is, even if people don't like you, they come back and watch you. He says you need to go to...
Well, the only reason I'm going to come back and watch you is a troll, but to actually be interested in your content, no ma'am, sir.
Top school, and higher education should be from top schools where you will get your network of people. And that you...
And when you gonna get your neck clean?
Should also have longevity in terms of...
I don't know what longevity is, but I know what longevity is.
How much money you make, which is that you need 5 years of making over $100,000 to even be considered to be in the group. He says that high-valued men don't care about your feelings. They will hurt your feelings. They don't care about you. They only care about themselves. And they don't care what people think about them. So
you said this is based on your notes, and that is inaccurate.
Is the archetype for a high-valued man. The problem with this is very simple. It is based on his own definition. This is not mine. I could care less whether or not you consider yourself a high-value or low-value man. This, I am not teaching you how to be it. Kevin Samuels is teaching you how to be it, and he has created an archetype that you need to fit in for you to be a high-valued man. You want to know what's ironic? Kevin Samuels himself does not fit into that definition. It is not a totality of the circumstances type test where you can meet some criteria and you don't meet others. He made very clear that you need all of these things in order to be considered a high-valued man. So I got curious. I went to his LinkedIn and it said he graduated from the University of Oklahoma. Now, is the University of Oklahoma a top school? No. The University of Oklahoma is ranked 132 by the U.S. News, right?
Seriously? The fact that this man went to school and graduated is not good enough for you. They are moving the goalposts. Well, I see he does have a degree, so let me say that where he got his degree from, it's not a prestigious university.
So, and that's the best ranking system for school that we know of, right? You do not fall into the group that you are teaching people to become. That is my first problem. But
no, your first problem is the fact that you got sugar in your tank, sweet britches.
So let it slide. However, the point at which you move from telling men how to be high-valued men to telling women that they can access certain kinds of men while telling men simultaneously that they are high-valued, even though they don't meet your criteria, is a problem. So this interview hit a nerve with me, and it did.
He even talk with his hands like females.
Because of just one, how rude he was, but more importantly, how dismissive he was.
I'm just trying to see where the nail polish at, sis.
Is also a separate issue. If he has created an archetype for the kinds of men who do certain things and who are considered high value,
I'm trying to look in the background. Hold on. Because it looks like this may be where you go to school. I see law, but I'm not dyslexic. If anybody can read that, you know what? I'm going to try to do this real fast before I get on out of here. Hold on, y'all. I'm trying to see if where you go to school is prestigious. All I see is C. Is that a CRGEORGETOW? Let's see if where you go to school is prestigious. Hold on. I gotta turn the phone upside down. George. Somebody read that for me, please. And post that in the comment section and see if that's... Ugh. Oh, your face is confused. I didn't know what phenotypes it wanted. Get the freak out of here.
Who are willing to be objectified by him to access the kinds of men that he is creating put themselves in a
Terrell P22, you know you wrong for this. Give me to do this reaction.
bad situation. So let me play this interview, because even though I think the onus is on the individual calling, because Kevin Samuels frankly does not qualify to...
Did you spit some of that coffee out? Right here, hold on. That you drinking. Like, what is that? It's not really a map. Like, what the freak is that?
Is not qualified to make these kinds of assessment.
You know what? You do work for a law firm. Look at this. We see law right here, right? And then we see Themis and Thod. You mad because Kevin Samuels called out the Grimace thoughts. That's what you mad at. The ones that the thoughts is built like Grimace while you working at Themis and Thought. He calling out them thoughts. You did.
We need to know that, and we need to do the research before we engage with people like this. Now, here's the interview, and my problem with it is the hypocrisy that comes out of his mouth, and I'll explain. So,
did cum come out of your mouth with coffee? Did you spit on this piss-colored board behind your head?
Here is the interview with Kevin Samuels.
I'm just wondering what kind of options would be available to me. I'll give you a quick synopsis. I'm 42 years old.
Like she pitching a movie. Let me give you a quick synopsis. You mean a quick rundown, a quick summary? You're probably a buzz down, but you couldn't give a quick rundown.
So last year I used to weigh 200 pounds.
None.
Oh, is this from The Godfather, Savage Moment? Whatever the name of that channel is, The Godfather Highlights or something like that. Hilarious.
Oh, I'm not finished.
None. Yeah, you are.
Ah.
Yeah, you are.
This year I weighed 165.
No, ma'am.
Simping on some scissor. Simping on some simping on some scissor. He's simping on some scissor. He ain't sipping on some scissor. Look at all that. Boy, stop.
You're finished. You're finished.
I'm done.
Yep.
There's nothing left for me.
Not realistically.
Well, thank you.
I'm not gonna lie to you.
Because I'm 42.
See, it's the age and the weight, and then if you have any children.
So my kids are.
Okay, ma'am. I don't need to. Okay, I'm gonna be honest. It's the, and I don't want to be rude. Sound like rude, but see, when you over 40 and you're obese, and you, or even if you're coming down, you still can go the other way, and then you have children. Okay, the only way that there would ever be any chance for you is if you were gorgeous. And if you were gorgeous, you wouldn't be calling.
Ooh.
People understand I'm not being rude. It's just oftentimes I'll get women who want to call in, they want to tell me their story, and then I know where it's going to end. Ma'am, you kind of knew that in order to overcome just your age alone, you're going to have to be very feminine, very submissive, very cooperative. You have to bring a lot to the table. That's before your weight and before your children. And your children are a messy detail for a man. I don't mean, and you can love your children, but people don't look at our kids the same way. So that's why.
All right. So a woman calls in to speak with Kevin Samuels, not even to find out if she can get a high-valued man. The question was, what options are available to me as a 42-year-old woman who is coming?
Absolutely nothing. Put this on pause. I'll finish this when I get back. I got to go. Right about now, we'll do part 2 and we'll do the other video, Terrell P22. Thank you for sponsoring this video. It's your girl, Tiffany M. Draper. I'm out for now.